our camp, the first camp that we had on this Krude project in the autumn, actually in September 2020, it was arranged in Finland, and the theme was this Arctic bioenergy and the future of bioenergy in the Arctic. And the megatrends were a good help for imagining the possible futures that we have in this Arctic area. And then we were trying to mirror how the use of this Arctic bioenergy would possibly change in the future, and also we'll consider what kind of societies we will have in the future, and how will people work, and what kind of structures we have in the municipalities that enables or makes it difficult for using these local resources that we have for the energy production, and what it means in the local level if we can utilize our resources more effectively here on the local level, instead of being dependent on resources that are imported from elsewhere. So in that sense, it was not specifically only experts about bioenergy, but we opened it up for larger influence in the societies.
The megatrend cards are combined on a regular basis by a Finnish organization called Sitra. And they do this future foresight work a lot. And megatrend cards is one tool that they produce for everyone freely to use. And we combined 4 cards for each group. And what we wanted them to give to the groups is a sort of an overview of not the current situation of the world and what is going on in the local area, but a bigger picture, a bigger framework to orient their thinking towards technological, societal things and people in communities. If something is happening globally, it means that something is happening locally as well.
Today, I'm focusing on renewable energy transition and bioenergy challenges. I'm going to provide big picture. Energy systems are really different in different Nordic countries, and this is what we must take into consideration when we talk about Arctic bioenergy strategy. We can learn much from different Nordic countries because we have a comparative advantage.
In this presentation, I'll start off by reflecting over the challenges circular economy face today, at least from my perspective. We often identify elements that may have a high value in itself, such as gold, silver, or zinc in their byproducts. However, if mixed thoroughly with other elements, for example, if you burn waste, you might have gold in that waste. Thermodynamics will tell us that we need to use a high amount of energy and effort to extract these elements. So this is sort of the focus of my presentation.
I got the task to actually talk about what we can do, steps of decision making and tips for lobbying to promote green economy. And the reason for starting here is that this model works both if you're trying to figure out what you should be doing, which is the next part of this presentation, and it also gives us an insight into how the general decision-making processes work.
The topic of the camp was this, the future of Arctic bioenergy. And then we had, in the afternoon, we ended up with having 3 different groups, and they all had a different kind of vision from the future based on the megatrends. And then we have, as a result, we have 3 these beautiful illustrated images of the possible futures and the opportunities that we have in the future.
So the upcoming Greenovation Camp is the 10th of December, and it's arranged here from Sweden and Jokkmokk. And the title is Sustainable Arctic Societies Going Circular. And like the last camp, there will be a lot of focus on networking and mingling, getting to know each other. And we will also have a selection of keynote speakers that will inspire the participants. And in examples, we have representatives from the Delegation for Circular Economy here in Sweden. And we also have a representative from Municipality of E in Finland, which is a famous small community that has been very successful in cutting their CO2 emissions. And also we will have a first look on a report on possible ways forward for rural municipalities here in the northernmost part of Sweden when going circular.